I'm caring less about body hair.
I think that's my fault.
Arm hair.
Like 4 years ago, I just stopped shaving as often. And I think you've just had to get used to it.
A few moments later.
And the consent thing and you're the first guy that I've had in my life that cares about that specifically.
Hello, boys and girls. Got a new topic for you today. This golden nugget just fell onto my lap a few days ago, and I've been thinking about whether I should make a video on it or not. Ultimately, I decided to do it. So if you haven't figured it out by the title and the thumbnail, we'll be talking about iDubbz and his wife. For the people in the back who don't know who iDubbz is, he's a YouTube OG. He started making videos in the stone age of YouTube back in 2012. Back then, Ian was loved, garnering all of the YouTube clout with his Kickstarter crap series, Bad Unboxing, iDubbz Complains. As if this wasn't enough, iDubbz popularity blew up with this series Content Cop. If you weren't alive back then, or you don't remember, this series was career homicide for people that Ian chose to expose. I still remember me as a young beansprout. Whenever I got the YouTube notification that iDubbz had posted new Content Cop, oh my god, I just get so pumped up. His Content Cops were not videos. They were full-on events where people gathered and watched a YouTuber's career end by this tall, slender man dressing in a cop uniform. iDubbz was also known to collab with other edgy content creators such as Filthy Frank, now Joji, and Max Mofo, who runs the channel Cold Ones, where he runs a podcast with his buddy Anything for Views. But if everyone loved iDubbz so much back then why does everyone hate him now? You may ask. Good question. The short answer is this woman. This vile woman, this creature made iDubbz go from champ to chump. This woman changed iDubbz so much that if you watch a video from him 9 years ago and watch a video from him now, you'd probably say that Ian had a twin brother that switched with him and stole his channel. This woman made him turn on his audience, his views, his videos, everything. And that is why everyone hates him now. Because Ian traded his audience for some mid-ass OnlyFans girl. The thing is, she's not even that good. Look at her, she's mid at best. And now, Ian went from epic and based to cringe and loser and a frambling. And back to the video. I was doom scrolling on Twitter when suddenly I came across this Bo Black's clip from Ian and his wife's YouTube channel where they podcast together. The clip I'm about to show you is from the video and called AI Art, She Ruined My Career, episode 19, in case you wanna give it a watch. One thing that it's true, she really did ruin your career. No matter how much iDubbz tries to deny it, she really did. Before you watch it, this clip will cause extreme discomfort. You may die of cringe. Please, watch it at your own risk.
This is iDubbz dating advice segment. Ooh.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
This clip starts off extremely weird. You can tell right away that the dynamic between Ian and his wife is not as much the relationship between wife and husband, but more of OF creator and her sim. The whole interaction is just so weird. It's like they don't even know each other. It's like when you strike a conversation with a stranger. Hello, hello, how are you? Good, you? Also good. Nice, cool. So, how's the weather? It's like she doesn't know and it's taken aback by the introduction of his segment.
Huh?
Isn't it planned, or is she admired by Ian? Try giving dating advice. Guys, if you don't want to end up like Ian, please don't take his advice. Moving on.
I'm giving the people what they want. They've been asking for it for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Dating advice?
Yes. Everyone's
Where?
been asking for dating advice
Really?
on the... Yeah.
Just what the hell is going on? Aren't you supposed to work as a team? She's like pushing back on her husband in front of the podcast.
Everyone's
Where?
been asking...
What? Really? Where are the people asking for your advice? Are you making this up? Oh, silly simp Ian, lying again in front of the camera, you silly goose. And for Ian, if you want to give to the people what they want, divorce that vile woman, stop being a loser. You don't need to bring back your old content. You still got it in you. You made cool videos on our Soft Fatty and Sam Hyde. You look miserable. You know you are miserable. For some reason, don't want to stop being miserable. You still have time. At least ruin your career for a baddie or someone who's a good person. She's neither.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you bagged a cool one. Tell me how.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
That's
anyone
more like
saying
bagging
that.
advice.
Yeah.
This is just so sad. The constant pushing back from Ian's wife and the awkwardness that you can see in Ian's face. You beg the cool one? Just say a baddie. What? You have to walk on eggshells around your partner, afraid that they might lash out? Is this relationship that bad? When I'm around people I like and am comfortable with, I say whatever I want. I don't need to tiptoe around topics because nothing bad will happen. This might be just his wife not being the best at taking compliments, but it just also comes across as super weird and cringy. Like, it's like complimenting a coworker as opposed to your wife! Anyway, let's hear Ian's bagging advice.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some bagging advice.
Huh?
I heard this piece of advice. First, it started as like a advice on like how to decide on what home you should buy to get like a lot of value in a home. And this one guy was describing it on TikTok as like, I love trains, so I would buy a house near some train tracks. And for me, that would be awesome and wouldn't bother me and my lifestyle at all. Meanwhile, everyone else on the market in the scene, they would be like, oh, I'm not going to buy this house because I'm afraid that the train will wake me up or it'll be disturbing or something about it. Apply that logic to the dating world.
Sorry to interrupt you in the middle of your argument, but you're right, Ian. That's actually good advice. That's so good advice that you even used it to yourself. Ian likes women that nobody else likes and don't mind ruining his career. That would be awesome and wouldn't bother him. Everyone else is afraid to get that type of woman and would be bothered by that. Ian ain't wrong here. If I was his wife, I'd be a little upset though to be compared to a house, but fine. To each their own. Also, if he had to tiptoe around calling his wife a baddie and didn't have to tiptoe around comparing her to a literal object, aka a house, then what does that say? I'll just let Ian continue with this house argument.
When you're looking for a potential partner, you can, I'm not saying you should, apply this universally, but you can say, oh, like for me, I'm like, I don't mind any hair length on you. You could be bald. Your hair could be down to the floor. Any hairstyle, as far as I know, I'm racking my brain through all the different like options of hairstyles, and I'm like, yeah, they're all fine. I don't care. And that kind of opens you up for like a lot more options that you didn't necessarily consider.
Whoa.
That's just called either growing up or contempt. When you're young and beautiful and everyone wants you, you have a big pool of people to choose from. As you get older and people stop paying as much attention to you, you have to stick with what you can get. In this case, Ian made a bad choice and had to be happy with what he got. He drew a line in the sand, but his wife kept on crossing it. So Ian drew a line in the sand a little further back and she crossed it again. Like, how many times does she have to cross the line until Ian realizes she doesn't respect him? It's like Ian has to tiptoe around topics, change so much for this woman, and all she does is get worse. She just walks all over him without a care in the world. Oh, honey, I like your big hair. Proceeds to cut hair. Honey, I like you so much without tattoos. Proceeds to get tattoos. Please, everything but making an OnlyFans. Ian, can you help me taking some pictures of me for my new OnlyFans? At this point, Ian just looks like a yes darling. No boundaries. Just saying yes to everything to avoid any sort of conflict. Also, if Ian and his wife have stuck together for so long, it might be just Ian not wanting to let her go, and this woman taking advantage and walking all over him. I don't know.
I'm realizing that I'm caring less about body hair, like women with like armpit hair or
I think that's my fault.
arm hair.
Like 4 years ago, I just stopped shaving as often, and I think you've just had to get used to it.
No, that's not true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, in my fair and humble opinion, there's just stuff that should be kept in secret in a relationship, like stuff that only husband and wife should know about each other, stuff that should never be out of the public to see. But that's just my opinion. You do whatever you want. And apparently this couple has no concept of that. Go figures. They can simply be quiet about it. Why should I need to know Ian's wife's body hair preferences? Listen here, I'm not dissing her choices. If you want to look like Chewbacca over here, you're free to. She can do whatever she pleases. I'm a little weirded out by the fact that she would groom herself before she met Ian, and after they married, she just stopped taking care of herself. With this, she just dropped from mid at best to bottom of the barrel, and the worst is yet to come. But just wait a little bit. Imagine, guys, just imagine you got with a girl that groomed herself, tried everything to always look the best, and then eventually you get married, and she just stops because she got what she wanted. The same goes the other way. Imagine you're married, your boyfriend, and he just turns into a deadbeat husband. You need to look the best for your significant other, not for other people. It's just like people start taking their partners for granted. Guys, love is conditional. Unless it's your parents, then it's unconditional. But generally, when it's with other people that you don't know, love is conditional. You need to try hard to keep the relationship going. Or just get a husband like Ian that loves being shamed and ridiculed. And it just proves my point once again. His wife says, I just stopped shaving and you just had to get used to it.
I think that's my fault.
Arm hair.
Like 4 years ago, I just stopped shaving as often. And I think you've just had to get used to
Yes, because Ian shows her time and time again that she does whatever she wants and Ian just has to go with it. And when I said that the worst was yet to come, I really meant it. This part is just so cringy and awkward to watch. Viewer discretion is advised. Again, you may die of cringe. Watch this video at your own risk.
You
I
shave
don't-
all the time.
No, I only shave when I'm doing OnlyFans.
No, I think your perception of like what is shaven and what is not shaven is different.
Okay.
Because you can get like a little stubble and you're like, oh, I'm Sasquatch or whatever.
What?
That's not true.
No.
To
But-
the untrained eye, I'm like, yeah, that's a naked leg.
No, I won't shave for like 3 weeks on my armpits sometimes.
What?
What the actual freak did I just watch? This fine woman treats her fans better than she treats her husband. Oh my god. How far is the world gone where you are in a relationship where your wife admits in front of a camera for the entire internet to see that they treat the fans better than they treat their significant other? Well, must be pretty special fans. Oh my god. Oh my god, what am I watching? You remember when I said that some stuff should be kept between partners? For starters, your body would be a first. We all know that line has been crossed a long time ago. Second is your partner's integrity. And nope, that's also in shambles. If not before this clip, now it's definitely... Oh, imagine your mother, father, or girlfriend start calling you dumb in front of your friends. This stuff just happens in family reunions and only happens between family, behind closed doors, jokingly, not for a whole audience to see. What's next for iDubbz? Our wife starts to have other love interests and here becomes a cuck? That would be a whole new low. Let's keep it a buck, he's been further from that. Oh, you shaved, Danny. What's the special occasion? Oh my god, you look so pretty. Ugh, not now, Ian. I have a special shoot with another man for my OF. Oh, and I'll need you to help me recording and setting up camera angles. Okay, Annie, I love you. Can I kiss you? No, Ian. Don't you see you'll ruin my makeup? Gosh.
Sometimes I look down, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, the armpits, I don't even fucking care about though.
I know,
And why
you-
does anyone care about that?
It's-
They're just the fucking under your arm.
No, I
like,
know, I
unless
agree.
someone's like sexually attracted to armpits, I don't get the.
Which, by the way, I uploaded a picture of me yesterday where my arm was up, and someone did in the comments say, yes, armpit.
Yes, Ian. Why do people even care? I don't care about women with body hair the same way I don't care about men with body hair. If it's okay for a man to not groom, then it should be also okay for a woman to not groom. That's a perfectly okay statement. I agree with you 100%. You're 100% right. Now, imagine that you're a person that starts a relationship with someone that takes perfect care of themselves. They go to the gym, groom daily, have 100-step skin routine, and after like a few years of a relationship, it just stops. That's not okay, nor you should be okay with that. This is not a case of if you don't like me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. This is just called taking your significant other for granted. You got into a relationship for a reason, because you have good chemistry, but it was looks that got you to know that person. If the person looked like a homeless person, you would have never even bet an eye at it. If you like someone with body hair, it would also be weird if, I don't know, for some reason someday they simply shave it off out of nowhere. You'd never had the first attraction if they didn't look like Sasquatch in the first place. I mean, if you talk with the person and explain why you are doing it and you both agree, then fine, do it. But by the looks of it and the way that Ian's wife puts it, he just stopped doing it and he had to get used to it. So basically Ian is just coping. It's not just under your arm. It's a small thing that accumulates to the point of people not being recognizable anymore. It's just like dust in the corner of your room. If you let it accumulate, in a month you have a room that's dirty. But if you constantly clean it, it will always look clean. For your visitors, you know, it's about keeping your stuff clean. But clearly, iDubbz only likes to clean his room for other people to sleep in.
I
Oh,
love that.
they do exist.
Yes. So
Okay, so body hair. What about
so-
like height? Like maybe you're a guy who doesn't
Yeah.
mind tall women.
yes,
You could bag a
I'm
9
also
or
in
a
that
10.
category. I don't care how tall you are.
Yeah.
I mean, although I haven't been with anyone who's taller than me.
It's very hard to be taller than you as a woman.
Yeah, but I don't know. Seems interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Why is it hard for a woman to be taller than the man?
Man, even
Jamie?
Jamie over here wants to get rid of Ian's wife. This was just such a dumb point to call her out on. Guys, just look at the average height. Jimmy must dislike her so much that he tries to target her with such a weak and dumb argument. I can't believe this. Seriously, can't believe the train wreck that my eyes are showing me.
Jamie?
I know that you don't like Ian's wife, but that's not the way to go, buddy. You don't need to become a monster to defeat one. Just stick to pulling up pictures and then maybe one day the universe will do its thing.
What for him? Well, because he's
No. What you just said, you said it's very hard for a woman to be taller than the man.
No, I said taller than you, him specifically.
Huh? Oh, it's very, very rare?
It's hard for a woman to be taller than him. It would be difficult to find a woman.
Oh,
It'd be
rare.
difficult to grow. Well,
When you say hard, I thought it was like difficult.
It was more poetic language.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
same thing,
Sorry,
though,
I
but
just misinterpreted what you said.
it's difficult to find a woman out there that is
Yeah. To find.
taller than
Got
you.
it.
Yes. After watching the Twitter clip, I ended up pulling up the full podcast to watch it, and basically Ian and his wife have the chemistry of two awkward co-workers. They seem to have their good moments. They talk about weird stuff like sleds, saying stuff with confidence, Ian calling out his wife all of the time except when it's something major to the point of her looking like an absolute different person from 5 years ago. They also talk about Ian's sexual preferences and too much information. That's definitely not the podcast for me. Ian's wife never giving consent to him. They talk about Ian caring about his wife, which was a completely new concept to his wife. Guess that Ian is the disposable one now. She sure as hell doesn't care about him. Ian's wife overshares during Horny Level 9, and then they discuss about AI art. I don't really advise you to watch the podcast. I just did to know for sure that their chemistry was the way it was during those 4 cringy ass minutes, and also to see if something would change or the interactions between Ian and his wife will change, which they didn't. The only thing that I like is that their moderator, aka the guy that appears from time to time and pulls up the pictures, is constantly pushing back on Ian and his wife, and for some reason that's just hilarious. This guy should have his own podcast dedicating to on Ian and his wife. And that's the video. I feel like I've talked long enough. Ian fell off and can still get up, but he chooses not to. Ian's wife needs to give consent to everything, but she can do whatever she pleases because her body, her choice. But that's it. Leave a like if you've liked the video, a dislike if you've disliked the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel and are interested in more content like this. Leave a comment down below if you think that Ian fell off and why, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!
Pull it up, Jamie.
I think that's my fault.
Arm hair.
Like 4 years ago, I just stopped shaving as often, and I think you've just had to get used